Hey, Everett's live music 7/7/2024. A quick shout out at the end of the 4th of July weekend. And I led into this weekend letting you know that I'm a little bit embarrassed or disappointed in the progress we've made through our time. So, recap some messages for the weekend for history. Like, I'll never want to see that ever go away because we reference it and use it to help inspire and remind ourselves of the reality of where we are and where we've been and how, where are we going. But, if you take the Jesse Owens story with the competition in the 1936 Olympics in Germany, his great accomplishments against Long, his opponent, for the most part, but there was other German athletes as well, and the Jewish community too was affected through that Olympics. As we approach the next Olympics, just a reminder story that even those two top athletes perhaps in the world at the time, I mean, the way that they befriended one another and tried to show us, even in the face of discrimination and the idea of how dare you help the opponent at times and different things. If you could grab onto that story, maybe check it out, man. You might find out that maybe their grandkids stayed in touch and they kept alive something that was probably one of the most important stories. Or if you reflect on a Frederick Douglass speech given around 1840. I think he was like a slave in 1819. By 1860s, I think he was running for president. He made the ballot. I don't think he got really any votes or anything. I don't remember the exacts of that, but a great speech he gave about when he was called to speak for the 4th of July. If you listen to that, it's not very long. You can check it out. It's worthwhile. But that's where I spent the weekend and where we are to this day. And I have music that supports that and our idea of social and environmental justice, for all of us, because we're slaves to the dollar to this day. So I celebrated the weekend, yes, with freedoms to go to the pool, to have a burger or something of the nature, and then perhaps, share a couple other meals through the weekend and watch some fireworks. Definitely, dude. I don't spoil this moment in that manner, but through the weekend, I kept that message going for me and for the kid. It's the reality of what we've done, what we're doing. I shared with the depletion of forests across our planet, the destruction of endless, vast areas of habitat for wildlife. What we are doing and what we are celebrating are two different things at a lot of the time, I believe. The words have been written at times, it's just we don't follow the words long enough. And then we get caught up in some kind of idea you gotta be perfect, this or that. It's just not really what happens, but we haven't really put forth the effort for it. It's really unfair, and the inequality is unbelievable still to this day. So with that said, and then the idea that we're going to go faster, more, I'll just say again, from my angle, like I've been saying, I don't agree with any of that. And pretty much, maybe perhaps a lot of humans already have and will be more and more over replaced as need be, just so we can fuel that idea of the dollar. But through the weekend, carry the messages of patriotism and the idea of, all men created equal with inalienable rights, life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. I think a lot of that gets treaded on and misconstrued. You use all of it, anybody, for a lot of people, but at the end of the weekend, that's where I'm at, and we'll move into this next week and into the rest of the year. But as we move through with this election thing coming, just remember, us as a people have to really want change, and we can't be misled and drawn into some kind of wrestling match, like on a Friday night, we're all sitting around having cocktails and beers and brats and, watching some WWF match. So we look through that the best we can. We're going to try and find our best options, those that are going to support. For me, dude, if you're not thinking about the planet, right? Climate change that's really happening, and just like there is no like we're going to fix it. We have to change the way we live. So there's these facts that come to if the president isn't looking at these matters, then who are you voting for? Sustainable population, the idea that we have to change life, as far as I'm concerned, like you can't just be all about manufacturing and stuff when you know that the population's growing and there's less and less places for us to go. If you don't start looking at some of the realities of that and how so many of them speak of like a dollar is going to fix everything, knowing that the level of destruction that's coming, that's predicted by our scientists, that we continue to ignore, right? The level of destruction, you're not going to be able to even afford it. So if reality's never set in for you, I think recently I at least hear a couple people stepping out there saying it's just not. We have to evolve. It's weird. I don't get anybody coming back here, but this is, occasional a child or something, but it's however it happens for us into the future, and all this stuff that we do that creates more problems so often for ourselves and disconnects ourselves. I tell the kid this weekend, man, you're going to end up like in life where you got this, if you don't have a phone like all the time, it's almost going to be like taking the crack pipe away from a crackhead. It might not be that bad, but like to a degree it is. Like it's just what happens naturally to all of us. Just like the way of life we've developed, where it's just get up, go, you get on the hamster wheel, right? You got to do your job and you got to do this. Then you come home, and it's almost like systematic, like a robot. That's not free will. That's not living with freedom. We have fooled ourselves. We have been very wrong in the way we live. It's like the harsh reality of it. And it's not even harsh. It's just like, oh, so we're not really as smart as we thought we were. Perhaps not, or yes, sometimes, but like, it's terrible just that we keep going at it. There is no finish line. The idea is to take care of one another. You measure your way of life by your poor. How many poor do you have? How are they doing? You can't change everybody's mind and thinking, but that's what you do. And every day that you live is for tomorrow. It's in my music. It's in my words. Today is for tomorrow. I kneel to no one but my children, because that's what I'm doing. And we have not. We are failing. So, I hope you had a good weekend, but just remember this, dude, as we move forward to the next day, if you catch any of this, we're failing terribly. And there's not a whole lot of conversation about it. It's kind of like taboo, and sometimes some of us we're like the bad guy, like the terrorist or something. Really? To like just tell you what you're really doing is like it's not even like a mystery, or it's just wrong. But like at the end of the weekend, I gotta say it. I didn't do it like in the beginning to be like I did some of it actually going into it. I couldn't help it. But like our end result is not good at all, and we're all separated from it. We're in conflict, and we're challenging, and we're constantly against one another, or guarding something, or holding secrets. And now, they're just going to bring artificial things, so they'll need none of us that are, a little bit quicker to the punch or to the answer, or even like for some, that's just kind of how you are, dude. You're going to find out the answer to something, And that's just being all swept aside and dismissed. And I know everybody's different. I've never thought of it differently. And I try to be as forgiving as possible because I don't want to think about, there's no revenge on anything a lot of the time. It really is. It's not you don't have to go to church to figure it out. All we got is today, and today is for tomorrow, man. When you know there's so many people that are struggling, you know you're failing as a people. And we support people that have so much more than us. It's not that I'm against anyone in particular, movie stars, businessmen. I mean, I'm not for you a lot of the time because I think you know how unfair it is and you just keep going. And you don't want to change. You don't even want to talk. I can't get anybody really to talk. I mean, I try a little bit here and there, but when you're poor and you're suppressed a little bit here and there, it's not real, you know, it's just hard to gain some ground anywhere. But that's like the end of the message, or the end of the 4th of July weekend for me. That's where I'm at. It's not all Debbie, it's the reality, Debbie Downer, negative Nancy, I don't know, doom and gloom. It's real, man. Check out the forest depletions on the planet and what we've done, and you just can't do this, and we're not even planning for the future. All we plan for mostly is to kill one another with guns and stuff, you know what I mean? Like I say in one message, what happens if we just took all that money and tried to do good? No, that doesn't work. There's no, you go to the back of the room, Waldo, or, you know, I mean, why? Really, it wouldn't work? Not at all? I mean, I know we're really late in trying, and that's terrible. It's just, we're actually too late. So, end of the 4th weekend, and we're moving through the summer. Today, the thermometer pegged at 100, it reads at 120, and then there's like space above it. Probably would be like 2, 4, 6, something like that, like 8 maybe more degrees. So like 128 maybe it would go to. It's pegged, and I think it's a couple degrees low, so lower than that when I calibrate it with the interior one. But it's pretty wild where I live, like the hottest place on the planet, the Mojave Desert, dude. Anyway, man, wherever you're at, I know you're not hitting back, but that would be better, see? We wouldn't have secrets, or we'd have interest in things we haven't noticed. I've seen before, like get a gimmick for your channel, or something. I mean, what gimmicks do we need? We don't need gimmicks. Well, you know what we need? Conversation and action. And it's not, there is no, here I come to save the day. It's all of us, man. We either want to change or not. We have to want to change the way we live life on the planet. I think that's totally legit. And this money thing, dude, damn. Wow. I won't make many friends speaking like that, but it's the reality of it. And I need money, so but, you know, you're going to have to want to fund somebody that just wants to tell you that really, it's not working at all, man. It's the undoing of our people. And we will give ourselves over to some other kind of technology in order to rule over us instead. Because we could not manage ourselves. I think that's kind of how that AI and all that's coming to be. Is as humans, we haven't proven, I guess, on one level, I don't know what level it is, or another, but if you're somebody with a lot of money, I think at one point or another, that's what you do, is you scrutinize others. And I don't know if it's just totally that way, but to find it, if I put a machine there, I don't have to worry about it making a mistake. And that's kind of weird, man, because that's what we've done, like, for so long. Replace the person with this machine. Not even in you know, just like, do you ever like really imagine, like, if you're the big deal person, what it's like to have to do the same exact thing every day, all day long? And you wonder where, like, the mental, we already did the mental health before, but I'm gonna go, if we got hits back, we could go further with some of this. Peace. End of the 4th of July weekend, I did have fun. I went swimming. We made food together and a walk or two, but and seen fireworks. I didn't discount it totally, but there is a feeling inside. The reality of the situation is, if you check out that Frederick Douglass, man, that's really awesome because it's like we're still there. It's just on a different level. You might see it as different, but inequality, it's never been like color. It's colorblind. There is no color to it. To that. But anyways, peace.